All right, just a couple additional things I want to talk about regarding the physical therapist viewpoint and the room in the hallway. First, let's talk about the hallway. What I see very commonly is that things are stored out in the hallway like wheelchairs or lifts. And the problem with that is a lot of residents rely on that side rail or handrail to get around. And as soon as they let go of that thing, they're at a high risk for falling. If they're walking along the side rail and all of a sudden they come up on a wheelchair or a lift, they're going to try to go around it and they may fall. So let's keep that in mind. Try to keep the hallways clear. The same, of course, is true within the room. You want to remove clutter. You want to watch, that you have proper lighting. You want to make sure you don't have messy conditions, because those all things set up for falls. And I know those are very common things, and everybody knows those. Let's talk about a few things that maybe you don't know. I think a common cause of falls in rooms is that people have their personal belongings stored at the wrong height. You'll find a lot of the little ladies and little old men will take their commonly used items, have them on the floor of the closet, or have them in a shelf that's very low. They have to bend over, and of course, as soon as that happens, over they go. You want to make sure that any shelves that are in the room or any items that are stored are somewhere probably between their waist and shoulders. That way they can grab them without any difficulty, and they don't have to bend over and put themselves at a risk for fall.
All right, what I'd like to address now is assistive devices. And first of all, we're going to start out with these three. We have the single point cane, the quad cane, and the hemi walker. The first thing I'd like to address is nursing staff. You're not going to train people how to work with these, but you can observe them, and there's a few things that are going to bring out that if you see these things as being wrong, some things you can correct, or get a hold of the therapy department, and they'll be happy to take care of these problems that can cause falls. So first we're going to look at the single point cane. There's a variety of single point canes. One thing I do want to mention is correct height. Now the rule for correct height is the same on all these devices as well as walkers. What you'll do is have the person, if they're standing tall or as tall as they comfortably can, and then you let one arm hang down in a natural position, and you put the cane here and here. Now the handle of the cane should line up with the crease of the wrist right here. Now if you look at this one, this cane is too short for me. Canes, if they're aluminum, always adjust. There's oftentimes a locking mechanism here, and you just simply loosen that up and make the adjustment. There's notches here. It's relatively simple. If you have problems with maintenance, we'll be happy to do this as well. And there we go. I'm at the proper height with the cane. All right. Now, the nice thing about single point canes is they're very light. Okay, they work great. The people can easily maneuver with them, but the person who uses a cane, single point cane, needs to be pretty stable. They should be able to hold up the cane like this and not look like they're going to tip over. Okay, if that's the case, then what you need to do is get a hold of therapy and make sure they got the appropriate assistive device. What I go to next is the quad cane. It's called the quad cane for obvious reason. There's 4 points at the bottom, therefore it's a quad cane. This one is already adjusted right for me. You will see one thing that's really important with a quad cane is if you look at this, it's offset. The main post is not in center with the 4 prongs. Okay, it's offset to one side, that's for a good reason. If you look at it this way, as a person walking, it's offset so that the 2 outside ones are farthest away from the foot. As a person swings their foot through, they have clearance. Okay? If it was backwards, as you see here, right there is a good way to trip and have a potential fall. Now,